That's right, Alyssa. I'm going to be joined here by the voice of Penn State football, Steve Jones. Steve, thanks so much for joining me. And why is Blue White Week such an exciting time in Happy Valley?
Well, Ryan, I think that for some people, the passage into spring is the start of Major League Baseball or the Masters. Here at Penn State, it's the blue-white game. You're going to have upwards of 75,000 people possibly here tomorrow to watch a scrimmage. And that just shows the passion and the love for Penn State, the passion and the love for Penn State football. They get an opportunity to see all the new players, which they're all anxious and excited about. So this has a chance to be a really great weekend here. And it's the first time in 3 years, I think everybody is just anxious to go out and have a good time.
And you mentioned some of those young guys. James Franklin brought in a tremendous recruiting class. The big headlines, Drew Aller and Nick Singleton. What have you seen from them so far?
Oh, they've been really good to this point, and that's really helped. They've had a lot of veterans around them because Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen, for example, they've had Kevon Lee and Devin Ford and Keziah Holmes in front of them, and Drew Aller and Bo Perbula have had veterans like Sean Clifford and Christian Bayou in front of them, and it's really helped ease their process of getting into Penn State football. But I think what they've done recruiting-wise, some of that will be on display tomorrow, and I think people are going to have a good time watching them play tomorrow.
And you mentioned Sean Clifford. What kind of benefits are Drew Aller, Bo Perbula, and Christian Bayou going to get just because he's back for a sixth season?
They get all that knowledge and a guy that's willing to share it, which is so important. Sean has been through everything during the course of his career here. He can teach them how to watch a film. He can tell them little points during the course of practice that will help them along the way. He'll also be able to talk to them during the course of a game should they get in. If you go back to the Rutgers game when Christian Bayou got in the game and played so well, who was the first guy that was talking to him on the sideline the entire game? And that was Sean Clifford.
And then who are some other guys that maybe have stood out for you?
Well, during the course of the spring, a lot of guys have. Zakee Wheatley made the move from corner to safety. That's been a really good move. He looks very smooth there. A young player named Zane Durant has really impressed on the defensive line. That's not easy to do, Ryan, to be on the defensive line. Normally it's the guys like a Caden Saunders or an Amari Evans on the outside can impress you coming into this. But then a guy to be on the inside on defensive line to impress everybody and really make a statement that maybe he deserves a long look at getting playing time in the fall, that tells you something about Zane Durant.
And then kind of another returning player who's going to be looking a little different this year is Jonathan Sutherland.
Yeah.
He's made the position change. What's he been looking like so far in practice?
Jonathan Sutherland, this is a great move by the coaching staff because getting him closer to the line of scrimmage is something that's natural for him. It also gives Manny Diaz, the new defensive coordinator, some options out there because you have a guy that's not only playing at that field linebacking spot in Sutherland, but he also has safety skills to go with it. So it gives him a wide variety of defensive packages he can turn to because of Sutherland's versatility.
All right, well, it should be a really exciting time tomorrow. Steve, thank you so much for joining me. Alyssa, back to you in the studio.